So now I've got something really, really powerful. And for anyone that's using a mix of plugins on their computer and external hardware, this is really, really going to get you inspired. Let me show you what I'm going to do. So I already have a brand new patch loaded up. It's in hybrid. And you might have seen that I went into control mode already. Control mode gives you 4 banks of already smartly assigned controls within this controller. So somebody designed the VIP software, thought, okay, let's have our filters and our oscillators on page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4 has different assignments. Now, if you're like me, you're probably going to want to change these. And the CTRL49 gives you a method of doing so that is not only really intuitive, but extremely powerful. So you can mix between the external and the digital realm seamlessly. So let's get into it. There's a little hidden button here, and it's the endless encoder. So I'm already in my control mode. So say you're on the main page, press Control, and then click in. And you can see that it looks a little bit different. My parameters have actually changed. Not everything is displayed as it is when I'm in my normal control mode. And now take a look at the top. I have hybrid on channel 1. I have my parameter displayed here. I have a minimum, a maximum, the type, mode, reverse. I'll get around to all that stuff. Just so you know, that's what we're looking at. So say I want to change what this knob does. See, whenever I select a knob, it tells me what that parameter is. So, I don't know, I kind of like to have my resonance and my filter on top of each other. So filter on top, resonance on bottom. A lot of my synths that I have are laid out like that, so let's go ahead and assign it. It's really easy to do so. So I have my filter here already. It's part A, filter resonance. That's what we want to assign from this knob down to this knob. So let's first reassign this knob. I can use my endless encoder to browse through every parameter on the hybrid synthesizer. And it's really deep. There's a lot of them. And if you've done this before, you can already follow me to see that this is a really cool feature. All right, so now it's going to control effects parameter 1. Now nothing controls the resonance. So let's change that and get the resonance on knob 8. So twist it first to make sure that VIP knows that you want to affect this knob. And then let's search through and find that resonance. So we want part A. I found part A resonance. So now when I start my arpeggiation, it's now adjusting. And if I go back to the regular control mode, oops, it tells me the percentage that I'm at. So say there's a sweet spot on the filter that I don't want to go past. You can see right here, there's kind of this dull space that you really can't hear much of the filter. So let's make sure, let's actually change the maximum percentage. And I can do that by using my arrows to flip over to max. And then I'm just going to go ahead and turn this down, and notice how my circle is kind of closing up a little bit. And I can turn that down. So now whenever I turn my knob, no matter how far I turn it, it's never going to go past 66%. And I can also do that for the minimum. Say I want the minimum to be 12%. And I can do this for all of my parameters. Even when I'm back in control mode, oops. Furthermore, I can even change some of these to control my external instruments. So let's get back in, and say I want knob 1 to control a MIDI CC. Let's go over to mode, actually VST, and change this to MIDI CC. And again, I have my max and minimum. So now knob 1, instead of controlling something inside of hybrid, I can assign this to a MIDI CC on an external controller. I don't have a synthesizer here, so I'm not able to do this, but the fact that you have that power is really, really cool. can also change the way that my knobs behave. So for example, if I flip over to mode, I can change this to bipolar. Bipolar would be something like a pan pot, where the center is 0, and then I can turn it to left and right. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so this would be all the way left, this would be all the way right. This is really, really cool stuff. So within control mode, I can actually assign different parameters to my time division buttons and my pads. Just by pressing the control button again, you can see now I have a page of turning on the chorus, turning off the delay, so on and so forth. And there's 4 pages of this. So originally I was on bank A, and same with the knobs and same with the pads. I have 4 different pages, so up to 32 knobs, 32 buttons on my time divisions, and 32 pads. A lot of versatility. Not all of these are assigned, but you could assign them however you like, and the more synths you have, the more possibilities that you get. And again, we're just working within one synthesizer. Real quick, let me load up something else in another slot in a multi. Just make this nice and easy. And load up this hollow zapper. And let's go back to control. Click in. And now say I want this knob right here to control something. I have channel 1, which is hybrid, channel 2, they're 2 different patches. But now I can have this control the second part of my multi, the second hybrid that I loaded, and I could have it control the first. So a lot of flexibility. Let's just take a look real quick on the pads. So that's the control section, very powerful, but we also have a MIDI mode, and very similar to how the control section will give you controls over different parameters within VIP. In MIDI mode, you can assign your knobs, time division buttons, and pads to whatever parameters that you want. Let's press MIDI. By default, the first thing that's going to come up is your knobs. I press it again, you're going to have your time division buttons. And if I press it a last time, you're going to have your pads. And unlike the knobs and the time division buttons, the pads you actually have 4 pages. So let me flip through the different pages. So that gives you up to 32 different possibilities that you can assign these to. So let's customize this a little bit, and we can do it the same way that we did in the control, just by pressing our endless encoder, and then boom, we have our customizable mode. So let's start with the pad. All right, so this pad is assigned to G4, but if I start, say I had a vintage drum machine like an 808 or a 909. I could plug a MIDI cord out of this into the 909 and then find the note that corresponds to the kick drum and control that drum machine right here from the controller. Really, really cool stuff. I can change the color of these. You can see there's a bunch of different parameters. I have my aftertouch, my color on and off. So when it's on, it's going to be blue, but oh, let's get festive. We got orange, amber, green, yellow, and before you know it, we have all the colors of a rainbow. We have our Skittles patch here, if you will. I can flip through all of these. Very, very powerful stuff. And we can get even deeper and start controlling our sustain pedal. We have sustain, and much like I did have a maximum and minimum. Say I have a sweet spot, a certain wah or effect that I want to control, I can adjust the minimum and maximum MIDI note. I can invert, I can assign it to a different MIDI CC. All of these things can be done right from the controller. Furthermore, I have my mod wheel, my pitch bend, and also I can choose which DAW that my faders are going to be assigned to. So between control mode and MIDI mode, there's literally nothing you cannot control from this. It's extremely powerful, and when I first saw it, it blew my mind. So I could have 5 different synthesizers set up, assign different MIDI parameters to them within my control mode, as well as having a huge set list in VIP, pick exactly which parameters that I want, and then control them all from this one portable MIDI controller. This is really, really good stuff, along with the arpeggiation and all the different play modes. You're getting a lot of versatility and a ton of bang for your buck.